Morning, it's Patsy. It's been a few days since I've done my last video, down to a couple of things really. I've had my grandchildren here, or two of my grandchildren here for the last few days, so it's been pretty hectic with those here. They're 5 and 7, so it's been a full-on few days, so I haven't really had time to come on. But I've also had problems with my eyes, which wasn't the great timing with the grandchildren coming. They started playing up a little bit last week, but they went worse and worse, and I think because I didn't rest them, because I had the grandchildren here and you have to do things with them, you can't just sit around. I probably pushed them too much, and I paid for it. So on the plus side, I found audiobooks really helpful, because I'm not able to read and everything with my eyes how they are. I downloaded the audiobook app, and I've been listening to Tabletop Tarot, and that's a really good book. I don't know if anybody has that book. Obviously I can't read too good at the minute, but this way I'm able to have someone read it to me, and I'm finding it really enjoyable. I'm really enjoying that book. I've only got about an hour and a half left. I think I'm on the minors, and I think it's aimed at people starting out in tarot, but I've been doing tarot now for nearly 30 years, but I'm still really enjoying it, so I wouldn't say that it's only limited to newcomers. So if it's not a book that you've heard of, have a listen to it or look at it and see what you think, because I'm finding it really good. Now the reason why I come on today is to do a hashtag. I like to do hashtags. This one is, I think, an old hashtag, but it's been brought back. I've got it all written in here. So Inspiring Alien, and it's Get to Know hashtag TarotTube. And like I said, I do believe that it was a while ago when this came out, but she's kind of redone it and put it back out there. So I saw Brian Cormac Carr do this, and I thought I would give it a go. It looked fun. So it's got 11 questions, and I will put the original from Inspiring Alien in the comments below. But here we go. So the first one: what made you start tarot tubing? And I started tarot tubing because I wanted to share my view of tarot, and listen to others and talk and discuss all the aspects of tarot, and share new decks, etc. I had, and I still do, but I've not been able to do a lot lately. I had Facebook for a long time, and I had big groups that I closed down, and tried to keep smaller groups. But I found that people didn't really want to discuss new decks, and they didn't really want to talk about what you liked in decks or talk about tarot. They just wanted readings, which is understandable. People join these groups and just want free readings, and that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to discuss and why I liked a certain deck and that kind of thing. So I joined YouTube and started watching other people, and I thought, why not give it a go yourself? People may be interested, people may not. So that's what I did. So that's why I started it. So the question 2 is, what is the tarot scene like in your area? There isn't a tarot scene in my area. I live in a small town, and there's only a couple of other people I've heard say they read it, but it's not something people talk about, or there isn't no groups or anything like that. So no, there isn't a tarot community from where I live. Here where I'm staying at the minute, Mablethorpe, there's a couple of shops that sell them and what have you, and one of the gentlemen who owns one of them, he does tarot as well. But again, I don't think there's a community here. I haven't really seen anything like that. So no, I'm not seeing any communities in the areas that I live. 3. Name an overrated deck and an underrated deck. So, an overrated deck, I would say, I mean, it's all individual, isn't it? I mean, some people like decks, some people don't like decks. I mean, some decks I love and think are great, other people won't. Some decks that they love, I'll think, no, you know, I think it's all individual choice. But one that I know I got caught up in, and I did find it quite overrated, was the Wild Unknown. Everybody was talking about that and saying what a great deck it was. I went out and bought it, and I could never really work with it, and I never have it. I've never got rid of it. It just sits there because one day I might, and I might see what all the fuss was about. But at the minute, that is probably the one deck that I got caught up in, what I found was overrated. And the other one that I just couldn't see what people saw in it, but everybody was talking about it, was the Deviant Moon. That was another one. It wasn't a deck that spoke to me, and I thought that, you know, that was quite overrated. But again, it's personal preference, isn't it? And what one person likes, not everybody does. But to me, those are the two decks that I found to be overrated. And I did buy the Wild Unknown, and I do still have it. But I never did buy the Deviant Moon because it just never spoke to me in the way that I wanted to buy it. Underrated decks, again, it's personal preference, isn't it? So, you know, it depends on what people like. But what surprised me lately is I bought this deck, the Golden Wheel, and I'd only seen one other person speak about this deck, and that was Zakon. What's his name? The Tiger's Abyss. It's right, my head is just not working this morning, and this is where I saw it. But I'm going to show you a few cards, but there is a walkthrough this. I'm really surprised there's not more people talking about this deck, because it is a gorgeous deck. But Zach is the only person that I've seen mention this deck, which surprised me. But I do think, you know, at the minute I'm finding that this is pretty underrated. As time goes on, more people might have it, and it might be spoken about more. But that is the one deck that I would say I'm surprised that there wasn't more for me to look at, apart from the one that Zach did. But for me, that is the one deck I'm finding is pretty underrated at the minute. So the next question, now I've got to bring it back up because my iPad turns itself off if I don't click on it. Number 4, tarot in one word at all. Number 5, name 3 small tarot YouTube channels. I very regularly give small channel shout outs because I think it's important. I'm a small channel myself, and it's nice when people give me a shout out, so I do like to be able to give it shout outs to others as well. The first one, and I will put these in a link as well, probably not straight away, I'll probably have to go and find them because I'm not very good at adding links and then posting. I have to post and go and add the links. But the first one I'll mention is Lupa Moon. I've mentioned her before in my shout outs, but I'm really surprised that her channel doesn't have more people following it, because she's such a lovely lady, and she does some great videos. But she's under 100 people follows her, and it's, you know, I'd like to give her a shout out because I just don't understand why she hasn't got more followers, to be fair. She's a lovely lady, and she does some great videos, and she's a great enabler too. And she does book reviews as well. The next channel that I'm going to give a shout out to is Joe the Tarot Guy. I like his videos. They're always short videos, so easy to watch. He's just also started a Tarot UK swap group on Facebook as well, for people to swap their decks and what have you, if you're in the UK, instead of the postage from the America and what have you. But yeah, he's an all-round nice guy as well. And the third one that I'll give a shout out to is Musings from Masha. I think that's what it is. She's just put up a video saying that her channel is going to change slightly. She's going to add other healing modalities and wellness and all this yoga and all this kind of thing to her channel, which I'm really looking forward to. So I thought I'd give her a shout out, especially if you're into that kind of thing, because that is something that she's going to be also adding to her channel. So they're the three small ones, but there are so many small channels out there worth mentioning, and that is why I do regular shout outs, and I will be doing another one in the next couple of weeks. Your favourite type of tarot video on YouTube? I like most of the YouTube videos. I think my favourites are probably tips on reading the tarot, like what a lot of the channels do, especially the one that I love to watch is oh god, my head's gone again, and that's what I'm saying this morning, I just can't even think straight. Tom Benjamin. But I love those kind of videos he does, where he gives you tips on spreads and tips on how to read them, and not just tarot, but he also does Lenormand as well, and the Gypsy oracles and that kind of thing. So I do love that type of video, but I also love unboxings and seeing new decks and what have you. But anything what is teaching as well, anything new what is teaching you something different that you probably don't or different ways of reading things. I always find that really fascinating as well, the way people read differently. So they're the kind of YouTube videos that I love. Number 7, what would you think, say, do if tarot suddenly didn't exist? What would I think? Well, the first one is, what would you think? I would think, oh, holy crap. B, what would I say? Oh, holy crap. And what would I do? Then I would have to make my own tarot deck, or carry on with my charms and other forms of divination, because I don't just do tarot, I do Lenormand, and I do Kipper and Gypsy cards and my charms, and you know, quite a different lot. But I would just have to kind of go to one of those instead of the tarot, but it's never going to happen, is it? Number 8, do you use tarot apps? No, I've never used tarot apps. No, I've never used them. I prefer the cards in my hand, the deck in my hand, and even if I'm going away, I'll take decks with me, even if it's just one deck in a bag. Do you know what I mean? No, I don't use apps. Number 9, your favourite thing about the tarot community? Well, I'm not going to go into the community thing, I've done a video on that already, but my favourite thing is all the people that I'm getting to know through my channel, people who regularly comment, people who discuss things with me on here. I've made a couple of really lovely friends who I talk to online, text messages or what have you, and they're lovely, and I wouldn't have met them if it wasn't for the tarot tube. So that is really nice. But it's connecting with all these people who have the like-minded belief system as I do, and being able to discuss things without people being offended or upset by what I'm saying, and you know, we're open to listening to what my views are and what have you. I think that's priceless, especially when you haven't got a community in your hometowns that you can talk to people and discuss things like that. So on my channel, I'm finding that I have a lot of regular people who comment and discuss things with me, and I think that's brilliant. I love that, and that is one of the reasons why I joined YouTube. So I'm really enjoying that connection and building my own little space with my own little tribe kind of thing. Number 10, tarot video ideas. I'm always trying to think of new ideas. That's why I started the Angel series. I did start one on spreads, but they didn't seem to be very popular. It's hard to think of different new tarot ideas to put out there, what people haven't already done or doing. So at the minute I'm still thinking of different things, but whether or not they'll materialise is another thing, because thinking about them and doing them, you know, I tend to put myself off, oh no, such and such is doing that, that's no point you doing it, they're doing that, if people want to watch that they can go and do it. The recent one that I started doing is the readings, the weekly and weekend readings. I couldn't do the weekly ones this week because of my eyes, and again, that's a problem. If I start these things and then I can't continue because of my eyes, I always feel guilty and as though I've let people down. So again, it's going to be, I've got to be careful what I start, because I've got to be able to keep it up, sort of thing. And I will carry on trying to do the readings, and even though they're not hugely popular, I do think that it adds to the mix of the channel, because I do want the channel to be a bit of different things, not just unboxings and discussions, but also ways of learning new spreads, and how I read them and what have you. So I kind of want it to be a different selection, even if it's not a popular viewing thing. So I will continue with them, but again, it's like I said, I'm just going to be careful that I don't start something that I can't keep to on a regular basis, because of the eyes. But I am finding that it's only been once that I've not been able to manage the reading, so I shall continue that and see how it goes and see how people feel about it. And then the last question, I'm going to log back in. Number 11, who do you tag? So who do I tag to do this video? So the first tag is going to go to my friend B Bosedi from iCurly Sunflower. I tag you to do this video. I know you were thinking about it, now I'm tagging you to do it. And the second tag I'm going to do is to my friend Alison at Looper Moon, and I'll tag you to do it too, because I'd be interested in your answers. And the third one, who should I give a third tag to? The tarot guy. There you go. I think I'll tag it the tarot guy, because I don't think I've ever heard him discuss why he's started Tarot Tube. No, I don't think I have. So yeah, they're the 3 people I'm going to tag. It doesn't actually mention numbers, but I thought I'd do 3 because I'm greedy. And yeah, so that's the ones I'm going to tag. So I shall look forward to seeing others do this tag, and I'm hoping to get back on again a bit later, because I've got 2 new decks that I wanted to share, and also I've got the week ahead reading to do. I probably a weekend, but one of the decks that I've got, what I'm going to show, I might do the reading with that, so I might show that today and do the reading at the same time, because it's an unusual deck. So yeah, speak to you all soon, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.